match. It's unexplainable. It's unconditional. It's unforgettable. Unstoppable. So intentional. It's so invitable. Indescribable.
Hello, and welcome to his. You're muted.
Man,
You're muted.
there we go. And her perspective.
Absolutely. Here at His and Her Perspective, we find common ground to harmonize relationships. And we do that by having conversations like we're going to do today. And we do that because we believe that people that we encounter can use this information. And we know that people are more alike than they are different. That's what I believe. What about you? Do you think that people are more alike than they are different, Vaughn?
Yep. Yeah, I do. I think that typically, and it's amazing how divided we can be over the differences when in fact I do believe that we are a lot more alike than we are different. But those differences get amplified so much to the point where amazingly we can't see eye to eye on so many things.
Absolutely. And I think that that's important. So today, listen, we're going to talk about chase or be chased. Who has the real power, men or women? And we're going to have that conversation. So I'm really excited about this conversation. We've been talking about this really all week, kind of off and on, talking about what we're going to deal with this on. And I think that this is going to be good. So if you're looking at us right now, make sure that you're clicking the share button. Do a watch party, invite your family and friends, get them over to the couch and have them to sit down, because this is going to be a very good conversation that we really need to have as a people. Ooh, something in the eye. Okay. So sorry about that. So make sure that if you also are letting us know who you are and where you are tapping in from so that we can say hello. We always want to do that. And tell us, give us one thing tell us what you're drinking on today. Just engage. Hello. We've got Desi over there. You got the lovely wife of Coach Vaughn. Hello, Desi. Hi, family. How are you? We've got Diamond Queen. Hello. Where are you tapping in from, Diamond? Let us know. And we have over here Jazana is watching over. Hey, Joe, what's up? How you doing? Give us a thumbs up. Give us a share. Give us something. Let us know that you are here. Let's see. So we're gonna. Other people came in. Hey, Yardley, how you doing? From Brunswick, Georgia. Thank you so much for tapping in. We appreciate you. So we always talk about couples that are winning, and let me go ahead and share my screen on that. And while I'm sharing the screen, you want to set them up, Vaughn?
What do you mean, for the discussion?
For the person that the couple that's winning.
Yes. So today's couple, for the couple spotlight of the week, is Mr. Chris and Mrs. Brittany McAllister Smith. They've been married now for almost 8 years. They have 2 lovely children. They just so happen to also be my family. So that's my daughter and my son-in-law. Very proud of both of them. But one of the reasons that I wanted to highlight them is, they really do exemplify what it means to be equally yoked. And they have a synergy about them that is very admirable. So even me sitting here at 30 years plus, looking at them at 7.5 years, they are really fun to watch, and I'm proud of them. So shout out to Mr. and Mrs. McAllister Smith. Congratulations on coming up on 8 years. You guys are our couples in the spotlight this week.
I love it. Congratulations to them. That is beautiful and a great testament of yours as her father. So I'm really excited about that, especially being a young couple, because right now this is some things we're going to talk about today that I'm just like really perturbed with. So it's really good to be able to start this off with some couples that are young that are winning. So thank you so much for that. I love that. It's really cool. But before we move into that, I really want to talk about this whole thing that's in the news. With the Match.com commercial.
Yeah,
have you seen that commercial?
I have.
Yeah. Has anybody else, audience, have you all seen that commercial? Hey, Chinchilla. Anybody? So what do you think about that? That really bothered me.
Did it?
Yeah,
You know,
because it was subliminal.
yeah, very much so. I thought it was par for the course.
Really?
Yeah. I just, when you look at the direction, there's so much confusion right now with relationships, and they make everything fair seeming, right? Where do we hear that before? Right? Everything seems so fair seeming, and even something as I don't know, as taboo as something like that might have been some years ago. Does everybody know what we're talking about? We're talking about. Did you mention
Do
that
we
already?
need to pull it? Do I need to find it?
Yeah, you can pull it if you want
Let
to.
me find it because that just, yeah, it really bothered me. Hold on. Go ahead
Yeah.
and keep telling. I'll look for it.
Yeah. So I hate to even spoil it, but I'll go ahead and talk about it a little bit. She's out on a date with the devil, basically, and it's on the one hand, I could see how a lot of people might perceive it to be tongue in cheek, just entertainment, right? But I say that nothing is just entertainment. I say that you
I'm
found it.
sorry. Yeah, I did find. I'm sorry, I had to stop.
Dated much worse guys than him. Much worse. I mean, at least he's famous.
I started by using the Match custom search filter. I filtered out joy, happiness, toilet paper, and reason.
Boom.
Most years I've dated are a little, I don't know, straightforward. I mean, there's a little misery, but nothing truly soul-crushing about them.
I just want to be remembered. Do you know the poem, The Road Less Traveled by Shakespeare? I actually have the tattoo of it.
Don't ask me where.
You devil.
Guilty. She gets me. That's the best part. When you meet someone that takes time to see beneath the surface.
Of the earth. It's just a perfect match.
So let's ask those in the,
Hold on,
in the
sorry, trying
comment
to pause it. Go ahead.
those in the comment section, chime in. Let me know what y'all thought about that, because I have my thoughts, my feelings, and I was going to share that. But I'm very interested in what you guys think about that. And
Yeah,
what do you think about it?
It's very subliminal. I mean, in your face subliminal. And if you don't pay attention, because they have several, it's not just one. They've got like a whole little series going on with these Match.com commercials talking about. Did you hear how he filtered out joy, toilet paper? He filtered out joy, which can kind of give a subliminal of relationships are not. And so it was just really like, so that's what we going into 2021 with. Okay, so we really trying to shut down. We didn't already, said you can't hug. We didn't already talked about how you can't touch your family, you can't visit them on Thanksgiving and Christmas. You can't, you can't. Now they're going to the thing that is left, especially for singles, getting online to find a person so that you can be coupled up, right? Because you can't go to the parties, you can't see people when you're out, so you're not gonna see that booty. You're like looking at him, or oh, look at her. You're not gonna do that because you got this mask on your face, so you can't see people. So now you subliminally say, you come on here, you're gonna find Satan.
Wow.
I was like floored, like, and I had to was watching it on my YouTube because I watch YouTube. That's my TV. And because it wouldn't, I couldn't find it again. Once you try to rewind, once it's over, it comes up to another commercial. So I couldn't find it. And I'm like, let me Google this because this was absolutely ridiculous. So it just really, and that's going to take me into this, but I really want to know what y'all think. And I really want to know what you think about this brother, because I was floored.
Yeah, we got a couple comments here. Diamond Queen says, settling for misery. Heavy.
Yes, she also said this too.
Settling for no love. And before that, Desiree said, that's my wife. She says, That's not the commercial I saw. The one I saw showed they're on date night and it's a trip. I think they're both awful.
Yes, they have. Like I said, they have a lot of them. They
Yeah.
have a lot of them. Let's see. I'm trying to go back up.
Yeah. Katina says straight trash. Definitely subliminal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's killing hope for singles. Katina says as well.
Mm-hmm. Y'all laughed at it. He said that's so funny, but at the same time, it shows me that a female will date anyone, whether or not he is compatible or good for her.
Do you really think that that's gender related though?
Yeah, because I think that I think piss poor judgment transcends gender lines.
I do too.
Because I've seen guys, I've known men personally in my own life that that were with women that weren't good for them. So
yeah,
I don't think that's a gender thing.
I don't either. Katina said my response is the devil was a lie. And then she says, here's the commercial showing the date night, a must see. Let's see this one.
Oh boy.
Because hold on.
I think this is the one I saw too, the one she's talking about.
Hold on. Let's see here. So are they on like? Because I see the. Hold on. I'm sorry. Was it the one where you saw the bridge, Desi? Is that the one she's talking about? Because I can't get that link. I can't click that link. Was it the one? Yeah, I can't click the link. So you all click it, take a look at it. It's a lot. It's about 4 of them that they have out right now, and yeah, it's something else. It's really awful, and it's so. I mean, it's in your face subbing. It's sad.
Yeah.
They want D Jackson says they want everybody out here helpless and with little hope. That's absolutely true. Yeah. And if we're not paying attention, she said, I think so. I think it starts off 11 months ago. Yeah, I think that's the one that I can't click. I don't. It's because it's one that says 2 weeks ago. One and Ryan Reynolds. I'm not even sure who he is in real life, but he's an
actor. He's an actor.
He's the one behind the Satan. Yeah, he's the one that's playing Satan.
Okay, maybe he ain't playing. Maybe he ain't playing.
Right.
Derek D. Jackson said, "Sup, bruh? Sup, Coach Eminem?" I guess that's your new name.
Right. That's fine. She said, "Why would a dating website insinuate you have to literally go through hell in a relationship and be okay?"
Boy, oh boy.
She said. So, I mean, y'all check it out because it's really something else. And it really goes into what because I'm going to tell y'all, while I was doing the research for this show, I was literally mad because like video after video after video after video, I kept seeing men and women, influencers and not, talking about men don't chase women, having hundreds of thousands of views and all of this platform, which is like, and it's called this alpha mentality. And they say, stop chasing women. The premise is that you chase the coins or the bag and let her chase you, because men that are chasers are called simps.
Now, I will say this, excuse me. I don't think it's necessary for a man to chase women necessarily. I mean, I think that it's much more important for a man to build himself into the man that he needs to be. And then he will attract the women or the woman that he should be with, or the type of woman that he should be with, that he should add to his life. And the same thing, I mean, so in other words, I'm saying one of the primary things that makes men attractive to women is confidence, intelligence, assertiveness. Like, I mean, I know y'all want them to be handsome and all that other stuff, but I seen y'all with some less than handsome guys and still winning, right? So confidence, intelligence, and assertiveness, right? And so if a man continues to work on becoming the best version of himself, then he will attract those types, the types of women that benefit him to his life. But I think men have lost a whole lot chasing women.
I kind of I think I understand the premise, but I really do not agree with the not chasing. And because what I'm not talking about chasing all women. I'm talking about being able to chase the woman that you're supposed to be with. So if you're not putting in the effort, because based off of some of the videos I watched, these men are teaching you don't chase her, you let her chase you, and when she chases you, you make her basically earn who you are. And
Right.
so that kind of goes into the whole Canvin Samuels thing and all of those things. And it does not have anything. It goes against, I mean, and again, y'all know me, I'm going to always go to the word. It goes against that. He who finds a wife, you cannot find something that you're not looking for, right?
Yeah.
So if you, I mean, and I'm not saying, because, one of the things that I put here is anything that you chase is going to run. So in that premise of chasing and her running away, which causes for rejection, which I can understand why some men would not do it. But I'm talking about actually pursuing her, following her to catch her in order to get her in position to be your wife, not for her to be boosting somebody's ego so that you can see how many women you got, coming for you. And that's what the premise of these people are teaching. And most of these influencers are in they're influencing millennials, because then you got the millennials who coming right behind them saying the same thing. And it's really sad.
Yardley Bond says, "Don't chase women, chase excellence," and that's really the premise that I'm talking about. I think the pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself now, but at the same time, I do not believe that women should pursue men. I do believe that a man should pursue the woman or go after the woman, approach the woman that he's interested in. But chasing women, I think, again, words mean something.
Yeah.
They have meaning, and so when you chase, it implies that something is trying to elude you.
Right. I get that.
And
So
so I don't promote chasing anything, but I do believe in pursuing or approaching. And then if the harmony is in alignment, if there's an alignment in values or ideals, then not that she should become easy,
yeah.
but I don't know.
And so that's the part of the chase that people put the word of chase on, is because you shouldn't make it easy, and just like I had to look at in watching and doing the research, I found a person said, no, well, don't chase. A woman should not chase a man, that she should pursue him. And so I had to look up the word pursue, because I'm like, I'm old. I know what the word pursue mean, right? But when you look at the word pursue, it doesn't mean the same thing that we're saying it means. It means to follow in order to attract. And so when how she put it was, a woman should pursue because the man should lead. So if you're following him, then you're following him to attract him based off of him leading first. And if the woman's not leading, then he shouldn't be pursuing her based off of that definition.
Okay. Well, I got a couple comments here. Kenyon Mosley says, when I go to other places outside of Chicago, women are a lot more aggressive and reciprocating. And then he says, these women in New York, Chicago, and LA have seen and heard it all. Their game is the same. Their game is same is just as advanced. The game is the same or as advanced as men. When I go to smaller towns and demographics, the odds are heavily in our favor. That's what Kenyon Mosley says. What do you think about that?
Because I'm from Chicago, I will say that when you go to bigger cities, the women are faster. right? They have seen more, but it does not mean because they're from these type of places that they don't know how to be led. And I think that what happens, one of the biggest problems that we have within relationships right now is that we're willing to place our perception of what we think is happening onto other people instead of saying, you know what, that's my view, and how can I open that up so that I can open myself up to more opportunities? Because as long as you have a narrow perspective, your perspective will bring in narrow results. So you have to be able to open yourself up to say, hey, wait a minute, so this is all I've been getting. Why am I getting this? Why? Because you keep saying that you're going to get it. It's kind of like I put a post on my page. Ladies and gentlemen, if you say that there's no good men or women out there, you're right. You know, I love that saying. Whatever you think, you're right. If you think that there's all bad men, you're right. If you think that there's great women or men out there, you're right. Whatever you perceive will be right. So you have to start to say, if I keep receiving the same thing, who do I change?
You know, there's that's scientifically backed too by a principle that says what the thinker thinks, the prover will prove, and it just speaks to the idea that molecules perform differently when they're being observed.
Yeah.
And so, if you, to the point that you just made, if you think there are no good women out there, or if you think there are no good men out there, it's going to be true, even if based on only your perspective.
Yeah. They say perspective makes up 85% of your decision making.
Mm-hmm.
So if your perception is based off of pain, is based off of rejection, is based off of hurt, then your perception is going to make 85% of your decisions for you. You can try all day long, but you have got to get to the place where you don't allow your perception to lead and guide you in that manner if it's negative.
Yep.
Now, perception, we need to have perception that everybody should be wealthy so that we can so that we could get that going, you know, because I'm telling you, it is strong. The laws of attraction are absolute. Thank you, Diamond. The laws of attraction are absolute. There's no wavering in them. What you think is what you're going to receive. You have to change your mind. And don't get me wrong, there are some times when, you know, your mind can't be changed because you feel like sitting in your rut. I've been there. Okay. Been there, felt like, I just want to be right here. Let me just sit here for a moment. Mm-hmm. Sit all up in my mess. Why? Because to me, this is just me, right? When there's times when I get down and I have to sink myself all the way. Oh, when I come up, watch out, because I've always catapulted myself out of, right? Coming into, okay, now I've seen where I can go. I don't like that spot. Let's see how far I can go up now. So it's almost like that slingshot. I'm pulling myself all the way back so that I can get where I need to go. And some people don't understand that. And I can't explain it sometimes, but a lot of times that's where I get. So I just, people, oh my goodness.
Let me throw you a little bit of a curve. Let's switch gears for a second. So if we're going to say that women shouldn't pursue men, right?
Right.
So let me read Yarley's comment first. He says, men should pursue women. A woman has to be receptive to a man's advances. Proper vetting of the woman is essential. So in that context, let me ask you this. If a woman shouldn't pursue a man, and I'm not arguing that, the question though, if a woman shouldn't pursue a man, what should she do? What is her role in the relating dynamic?
Her role is exactly what Yarley said. You make yourself presentable, you present yourself, and then you make sure that you stay there. Because see, what I typically see with my clients is they'll do things to make themselves presentable, and then when they get him, they get comfortable. No, whatever you took to get him is the same things you're gonna have to keep doing. So if you out there in the gym because you want to meet a dude, that means when you meet him, you got to keep going to the gym. That means if you are the person that you at a cooking class because you want to meet a guy that likes to cook, then he's not going to want to hear you when you talk about, I don't feel like cooking today, babe. No, you have to keep doing what you were doing in order to get him. And that means that you have to be able to be strong and confident within yourself. And that takes learning who you are, getting yourself together, get rid of the baggage from all your past so that you don't call him another man. And I'm not talking about literally. I'm talking about calling him another man as in using things that you've been through in your past against this man that's currently in front of you. And so when you do that, you might as well just call him the name. It's the same thing. So it's a lot of things that women need to be doing, except for wondering or worrying about, oh my God, let me go and find so-and-so. No, back off. Because I'm telling you, when you realize that he wasn't really chasing you, he didn't put you first, he didn't make you the priority, then you'll understand where you really stood.
Yeah, I think I'll add to that by saying that I think oftentimes, so right now today, there's a lot, women are a lot more aggressive these days. And there's a blurring of the lines as to how we're supposed to interact or how we're supposed to relate to one another. And I think, again, I always go back to the culture, the decline of our culture, the disintegration of our cultural structure as it pertains to how we should relate to one another. And so now you have a lot more women preaching this idea that women should pursue a man. If you like them, go get them, right? But I think, and there's always exceptions to the rule. There are some men who don't mind being pursued, but I think that as a rule, when a woman chases a man, she really chases him away, is my perception. And I think that the fact that we can point to exceptions don't invalidate the rule, they prove the rule.
Yeah.
Because they are exceptions. I think that the overwhelming majority of the time, and I don't know if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say better than 85, 90% of the time, when women chase men, you essentially chase him away.
Yeah,
if he's interested in you or if he's available, I agree with what you guys are saying. If you position yourself, you do what you got to do, enhance yourself. I always say CIA for men, right? Confident, intelligent, and assertive. FBI for women, feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. Now, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And if a man finds you beautiful, then you win. If he doesn't, move on, right? But feminine, beautiful, inspirational, you position yourself in the line of sight of the right man. And that's the ball game.
Again, y'all know me again. I'm going to always go back to the word. The word talks about that the proverbial woman was found working. Right? That meant she was taking care of her business. She wasn't worried about the business of anything and anybody else. She was taking care of her business. And that's how she was found. And so we don't want to talk about the strengths of the proverbial women because we like, well, she got to do all that. Yes. What's wrong with that? Like I saw this post talked about how the man wanted her to be able to cook 5-6 times a week, and 3 of them he wanted home cooked meals. The other 2 could be takeout, whatever. But he wanted a meal every week, every day. Just different things. He said fellatio once a week, and just different things that he said that he wanted. Those are the things that he wanted, right? This is the thing. You have to know that whatever your list is, like Orinthio said, have a checklist. When you have your checklist, make sure you also have on the other side, what are you willing to do in order to get that checklist? Because you don't get to say, oh, I want a dude that's all buffed and everything, he in the gym. But then when he goes to the gym, you complaining. Or he's asking you to come to the gym with him because he knows there's other females there that's liking him. He's trying to show you off or whatever. Oh, baby, I don't feel like it. Or you want a guy that's taking care of you, but you don't want to cook and your house is nasty. How do you think that you're going to be able to attract that type of dude if you're not that type of woman? You have to understand that man, the type of man that like that girl said, the 6-figure dudes, they live a certain kind of way. And there has to be certain things in place in order for them to thrive where they are. If you want a dude that's thriving, you got to be in position and make the environment where he can continue to thrive. If you are looking like you sucking life out of him because you can't even keep yourself because you don't want to take care of yourself, you don't want to give him no sex, you get mad at him, the first thing you want to do is cut off the fountain, you can't think that it's not going to be okay. Or I won't say not okay. You can't think that it's not going to happen when he go and look out for somebody else. It's going to help him fill that void. It's going to happen if you're not doing what you need to do.
And to that point, I think oftentimes we have these lists, and we have these checklists where we say, okay, I want a woman or a man who's going to do X, Y, and Z. But we're not. I don't think that we ask ourselves enough of the questions of why would that person want me? What is it that I bring to the table? I want this guy, or let's meet me in this situation. I want a girl who's a 10, right? And she's got this beautiful body, and whatever my list is. Now I have to ask myself in return, what is it about me that would make her want to be with me? And I'm not just talking about money, because if you can get money, if that's the only reason she's with you, then you can lose her just as fast.
Right.
She'll get bored with you if money is the only thing. As long as you're giving her money to spend, but there's no complementarity there. There's no equally yoking there, right? So again, I go back to asking ourselves, what is it about me that would make that man or that woman want to be with me? And to the point that you just made, what am I willing to do in order to offer a sense of complementary value to what it is that they're bringing to my life? My mama wanted to shout you out. She said, "As real talk says, stay true to who you are." Yeah.
And it should not have nothing to do with what you look like. It shouldn't be because I got a nice body, or I'm cute, or I'm a nice arm candy. So what?
Nope.
It's something that can be taken from you. Your character, your integrity, who you are, what your standards are, your core focus, who you are on the inside. If it can be taken away from you, drop it off the list, sis, bruh.
Listen. If that's women can pursue based on that, or women can base their attraction on what's on the inside and all that, but that's not how men work. And I find that oftentimes women want to, when we talk about how men value the looks of a woman, the appearance of a woman, we want men to apologize. It's almost like men are being asked to apologize for being men. That's the way men are wired, and we're attracted to the surface. We're attracted to the appearance. Now, you can like it or love it, you can lump it. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to change the wiring of men. That's not to say that there aren't other things that are needed to keep him there. Character, integrity, all these other things. But it is what it is. Some of us hit the genetic lottery. Some women hit the genetic lottery, and you're going to have a better pick of the valuable men, if you want to call them that. Men who make more money, men who are more confident, intelligent, and assertive. But if you're a 10, then you get, broader options. If you're a 5 or a 4, you can be as beautiful as you want to be on the inside. Chances of you getting one of those types of brother are not very high.
Now, come on now. I'm not saying that they can't be attractive to you, because again, like you said earlier, beauty is really in the eye of the beholder. Somebody that looks good to one man may not look good to the next woman. So yep. I'm not saying, of course you want to be attracted to them, right? But we talking about somebody that you want to build with outside of the attraction. Because once the attraction is over, it's that initial thing. I'm attracted to you, you fine, you hot. And then now let's move on. That's really how it is. It's a quick thing. It don't last that long, right? You figure that out instantaneously, and then you move on. So it's not something that's going to keep going, that you can keep going down your list. Because once you check that off, it's checked. It's done.
I think women often underestimate just how important or how valuable beauty is in the eyes of men. I mean, and there is layers to it. It's levels to it, right? But I enjoy showing up with my wife looking fly, looking nice. I enjoy having men say, "Man, your wife is, really nice looking." Like that again, that's an ego thing. And I know a lot of us are, look, ain't none of us completely separated from our ego. And I'll be the first to tell you that I still got a teeny bit left, right? And so, but men are very competitive. Right. And most men don't want a woman that any guy could have got. We want to separate ourselves among the field. And so if we have something that appears to be a step above or a notch above what the average guy can get, that's kind of a small moral kind of victory or psychological victory. And again, like I said, you can like it or you can lump it. It doesn't really matter what you think about it. That's how men are wired. And so the response to that is, again, to make yourself as beautiful as possible, and then also to keep yourself as competitively beautiful as possible. And men are supposed to do the same thing in return. Women are attracted to whatever you guys are attracted to, and we are to sharpen ourselves accordingly, right? But you can't penalize men for being wired the way that we are and say, oh, you're just being shallow, or you're supposed to be looking at the heart. And we ain't trying to hear that. We like pretty women, period.
I just think that it's not, I understand that, because I think that more now, especially because Katina says that she thinks that online dating has taken away the competitiveness for men. I really think it's made women more visual, because you're not swiping and reading. I know I wasn't. And when I'm online looking for a date, I ain't swiping right, talking about, let me see how compatible we are first before I stop at his picture. Is he fine?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm keeping swiping. And I probably could have moved on to a whole bunch of dudes that was great, but he didn't attract me, and I kept going. So I think that it really, in this day and age, and I'm not disputing the fact that that's not how men are innately wired. I'm just saying, based off of where we are in a society now, that I think that women are just as visual as men.
I'm not saying that women aren't visual. What I'm saying, though, is that women love an attractive guy just as much as men love an attractive woman. But a beautiful woman beauty on a woman will get her a lot further with men than good looks on a man will get him with women. So, for instance, there are some women, all they have to do is be pretty, and they really don't have to do much else. Maybe you can throw in good sex if you want to, but just being pretty will get some women so much further with men than a guy being. So, in other words, if you get a guy who's very handsome, but he lacks confidence, right? He lacks assertiveness, and let's just throw in that he's dumb as hell, right? So he's super handsome, but he's not attractive. He's not confident. That alone will get him blown out of the water. A man who lacks confidence. So
I don't know no beautiful men that ain't confident.
Man, look, I don't know. I mean, that's for y'all to decide.
I just think that's just automatic.
I'm sure there are women who have come across guys who they thought were very attractive, but he was goofy, game goofy. You know what I mean? And he wasn't very assertive. Maybe he was a mama's boy. Maybe all he wanted to do was play PlayStation all day, whatever. I'm saying you can find women, a beautiful woman with nothing else to offer, or little else to offer, I should say, aside from her beauty, will find guys who will take care of them and will wife them faster than a woman will succumb to a guy who is just attractive, but he lacks confidence, he lacks assertiveness, and he lacks the ability to protect her. Like, I mean, show me a woman who don't want security, and I got a bridge for you. I got a bridge to sell you, right? So men have to bring more to the table than just attractiveness. That's not to say that women don't want attractiveness too, but I'm saying a woman with just being attractive is going to get a whole lot further than a man who's just attractive.
Yeah, I can smoke a bag of that if I smoked.
We'll start smoking.
You know, so I mean, okay, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I just think that, okay, so maybe I'm just that atypical woman, because I'm looking at dude, I'm gonna give him a 1-over before we talk. That's just.
But no, look, these are the times though, right? If you go back, let's go 10,000, 15,000 BC. Relationships were based on a completely different dynamic. Yes. First things first, a woman wanted to know, can he protect me?
Right.
Can he build a shelter?
Right.
Can he provide for me and my children?
Right.
Dude could look like he just crawled straight out the cave. right? But if he got that thing, right? If he looked like he can handle it, if he looked like, he got strong man hands, he can build, he can take care of and protect, she's going with that cat. I don't care if he got one eye right here.
That's true.
So, but fast forward to where we are today, women want a guy to still be able to protect, but she also wants him to be able to relate to her on different levels, where 10,000 years ago, he didn't have to be her cuddle buddy. He didn't have to he didn't have to know how to sweet talk her.
Right.
All these different things. He didn't have to be her homie, lover, and friend. Like, he didn't have to do all that 10,000 years
ago. That was 20 years ago. Try that.
Look, well, okay, even then, but I'm saying, if you look at it now, today, women are able to provide some level of their own security.
Right.
Then they don't need us for quite as much of that aspect.
Right.
And so now you're able to be a little bit more selective, right? Because the different things that used to be, there were no police 15,000 BC. All you gotta do is call the cops now, or maybe one coming down and you can flag them down, right? There are levels that you don't need men these days. So now you're able to say, okay, I can breathe a little easier. Now let me pick what I want. He got to be 6'2". He got to have a gray beard like Vaughn.
Y'all know my brother. He like, big head. He can't fit through the room, right?
Oh, no, it's not.
I'm just kidding. I agree, but again, I think that was 20 years ago, because my first husband wasn't a looker. So, but you just have to really, I think it's the sign of the times. So we got a whole bunch of comments. We can't go back and read all.
We sit here talking with us like we ain't got a show to run.
Let's see what we can go back and find. Let's see, because we got a lot of them.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Yarley said, be feminine, going back to what a woman needs. Be feminine, don't sleep around, don't drink, and don't do drugs, and stay fit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want to read?
Yep. Marinthio says, I think you touched on this one. Have a checklist. If she meets your standards, approach her, tell her your intentions. Game recognized game. If you run in the race of life, you will only see the one running your pace. Don't sell yourself short by getting into a relationship with someone who is walking.
Oh, yeah.
Big. Diamond Queen says, people being phony is the problem. They play dress up to be someone else to attract someone they know they like, but don't have a common interest, instead of becoming a better version of themselves where they won't have to pretend. Indeed.
Katina says she agrees with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, she sure was. I'm not sure what that was about. And amen. I'm not sure. We've been talking so good over here. Or you want a guy to take care of you, but complain he's busy. Yeah, you can't do that. You got to know what you want and what you're willing to give.
Mm-hmm.
Yarley says, I had a chick who told, you're correct, Vaughn. I had a chick who told me that I should take her to dinner so we can talk to get to know her. I told her no. When she asked why, I told her, you are out of pocket. She didn't get it. Is it because she told you to take her to dinner? Yeah, some women feel like that they can be mean, or they can, come out of a bag, that men like that. That's foolishness.
Demanding extravagant first dates and all of that. I tell a brother, look, if you're talking to me, I wouldn't spend any more than,
coffee.
First of all, I want to be somewhere where we can talk and get to know you. I want to know if I like you enough to spend $100 on you, or $200, or whatever the amount is. I might not even like you, and I done spent $400-500. We went to Ruth's Chris, and I bought you the cheesecake, and I don't even like you.
Right. You may not even like him. You have to sit there through that.
Yeah. But see, that's a win for a person who's just trying to get what they can get out of the date. But for the person who's actually trying to get more than just the meal, and they spent $200-300, for you to have the nice surf and turf, they lose.
That's a sad woman that's dating just to get a meal. That really tells you where your confidence level is. If she is out there, well, at least I got a meal.
That's really part of the game now, though. It's a lot of that going on.
I know. Oh, I know. There are women. One of the girls I used to talk to, be friends with. We ain't friends no more. She used to tell me how she used to listen to her coworkers talk about how they was on the dating sites and just for the weekend. Well, who I'm gonna get to take me out to dinner this weekend? Really? That's what you think that you're really worth? Just a meal, a $50 to $100 meal? Really?
Trifling.
Come on.
Just plain trifling.
Because we all have to eat, so you ain't really did nothing special.
Right.
Diamond says, you better not cut out the fountain. That's law. That's right. No fountain cutting. 100% correct, Coach M. Never deprive a man. You want to keep the sex. You want to keep of sex. 100%. Amen. Vaughn say it all the time. Attraction first, compatibility next. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Want to read some now?
Ayana says, exactly. Previous dude wanted the world before he showed up. Yarley says, men and women's idea of attractiveness are not symmetrical. I concur.
Yeah.
Katrina says, I think online dating has taken away the competitiveness for men.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that one before.
Yardley says, a beautiful woman on a man's arm gives him social clout among men. That's what I was talking about. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I get it. In my opinion, Yana says, women don't value looks as much as men. I think that I'm just a unicorn.
No, you're not. You ain't no unicorn. Let the right dude come along and he got the gifts, the tools that you need. You will compromise on looks faster than the average guy will.
He has to be attractive to me first.
I understand.
Or we won't talk.
I hear you.
Because I won't be able to hear him because I'll be thinking he's ugly. Now,
if ugly is a different
circle.
Ugly is different. Ugly.
Yeah, but
ugly is different.
I'm trying to figure out, how do I even give a dude a play if I'm not attracted to him?
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk to him.
No, I'm with you on that.
Inboxing me, and I'm going to keep ignoring his inboxes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But I'm saying a woman showing up to her job function with a guy, I think that there are women who might appreciate the fact that your husband is handsome, right? But it doesn't have the same weight as when a man shows up to the job function.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it just hits. That's all.
Because we don't want, we like, don't be looking at my man.
Yeah.
What you looking at him for? You better not walk up to me talking about how fine my man is. you might get hit in the throat. Arithia said, my mindset is, if you're ready to get married, that means you're ready mentally, emotionally, financially, and to support a wife. Think about this. If you ask every woman if they like going into work every day, they would say, I guess no. I've seen in my 50 years of life that the happiest women are homemakers. Let's go back to the old days where the man takes care of his wife. That means she is aware of all accounts and financial investments. Sounds good to me, Arinthio. I don't know if we can go back there. I think women.
That's how we get down around these parts. That's how we get down.
That's the way to go. I think that we just need, I don't know what it's going to take to get there. Ayana says she agrees with you fully about the men and what you were saying about men and attractiveness. Yarley says that you are correct, Vaughn. Youth and beauty will get a woman pretty much anything she wants.
Yes, sir.
I've been playing the game all wrong, then.
Hey, listen. This is why before, when you talked about how some of your counterparts, some of the women that you were talking to about relationships and how non-Black women go to college looking to major in MRS. Right? They're trying to find a husband, and their degree is the backup plan.
Yep.
But we've been promoting to Black women. Society has been promoting to Black women that your number one priority is to be able to take care of yourself.
Yep.
And so we're in the full throes of Black women looking to take care of themselves and putting that as a number one priority. And then they want to finally settle down around 30, 35. Man, look, if you ain't found somebody to take care of you, to be booed up with by the time you 35 years old, it gets increasingly more difficult as time goes on, because in the eyes of men, your most valuable asset, or I won't say most valuable, but I will say your primary asset is beauty, physical attraction. That's going to come in the way of your youth and physical attraction, right? And so, and also, can you provide children and so on.
Right.
But oftentimes what happens is as time goes on and women hit 35, 40 years old, you get so used to taking care of yourself that hardens a woman. Life hardens you, and then you become gradually, unwittingly, you become less feminine, less soft, less compliant, and less suitable for the type of man that you say you want. So here you are, yeah, you got a woman out here that's making $200,000-300,000 a year plus $500,000 a year, talking about I want a man on my level, but men on your level ain't checking for you because of the reasons I just named, right? First of all, you're older now, 35, 40, 50 years old. You're making all this money. So that means life has shaped you to be a lot harder than the average woman who hasn't had to go through all those things.
Right.
Those men don't want you. And then now, and so they're doing specials now, and it's always about us, right? They always want to make us the poster children for what's wrong. And so they had this special on CNN or one of them where they said Black women are doing so great, but they can't find a man on their level. And it's not that they can't find a man on their level. First of all, you're not supposed to be looking for a man. It's not she who finds a husband finds a good thing.
Right.
So you're not supposed to be trying to find a man. You're supposed to be found. But it's just that the men who are quote unquote on your level aren't checking for you.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because I think I'm a dime, but I promise you, I went into a situation with a gentleman who very, very well known. And when he saw my pictures online, knew he must have Googled me because I'm Googleable, right? Figured out who I was. When we sat down, had a conversation, most people, when they see my pictures, I look younger, right? And if you don't have that on your site or whatever, if you have something else or whatever, they don't know. When he found out how old I was, he checked out. Yeah, it was like, wow, but I don't look 50 and it's okay. It didn't, thank God that I'm confident enough to be okay with that. But I'm seriously saying that I'm totally agreeing with Vaughn that there is when the older you get, the smaller the pool becomes, which means that now you're in position where you don't want to settle, but you can't come up with all these different things on your list. You got to start pulling from that list, and there got to be some things that are solid and rock solid for you to stay with.
Right.
So it's really, something else. Something else.
Katina says, Vaughn, are you trying to say we're old, therefore our options are limited? Listen, I'm not trying to throw any stones, but the reality is, as women get older, just to the point that Coach Michelle just made, the older women get, the slimmer your options get. Whereas if you take a woman at 50 years old, her options aren't as broad as a man who's 50 years old,
right,
even if they make the same exact amount of money.
Right. Absolutely. So
as men get older and wiser and make more money, he becomes more valuable and more attractive even to younger women. So you have a broad range of women. 50 years of shoot, I had a young lady in the store, saw my gray beard, talking about, "Ooh, you seasoned," and she's 19 years old.
Yeah. And so that ego get attracted. You let that ego take hold. He like, hey, I got choices. So instead of him thinking that, back in the day, 20 years ago, men going through midlife crisis, they didn't want gray. They were covering the gray left and right. Now it's a sex symbol. It's part of your sex appeal that men walk around with their gray. It wasn't that way before. It was men didn't want to get older because they felt like they didn't have many choices. Now they understand that they do. They run with it. So you gotta do things that are going to make sure that you keep yourself in the number.
But see now,
let yourself go. I'm sorry.
Even at 50 years old, it's not like you're out of options. To a 55-year-old man, or even to a 60-year-old man, you're still young. You see, you might not have the options as broad a range of options among 35-year-old men, but you can go up in age a little bit, and there are plenty of men who are fit and still very, very capable, even at 55 plus, right? And so you may have to think about the game a little bit different. It's not that the game is over for you just because you're older. But again, we have to start teaching these younger ladies where their real power is. So the question that you raised in the show description, who has the real power, men or women? And I say that we both have power. It's just a matter of how we apply it. But first and foremost, how we apply it must be rooted in a constructive understanding of what we're supposed to do with that power. The purpose for a man, listen to me good. Now, people talking about chasing that bag and all that. The purpose for a man is harmony, is a harmonious existence with a woman. The purpose for a woman is the harmonious existence with a man. You can add the bag to that, but I'm saying the only reason you are called a man is because there is a woe man. And the only reason you are called a woe man is because there is a man. Otherwise, we would all just be called people and wouldn't be no sexual attraction. We just all be out here chasing the bag because that's the only thing that matters.
Exactly. And that's the problem. And so going back to what you said about we both have power, the power only comes in knowing what your power really is. And you need to know what that is. And some people don't have that. They don't have that knowledge to be able to implement the knowledge. So then they're trying to figure out, what is my real power? You don't know what your real power is because you don't know who you are.
Right.
When you don't know who you are, you can't assert anything. You can't say, oh, this is what my benefit, this is what I can benefit you. It's kind of like the young lady that was on Kevin Samuels when he said to her, what is it, young lady, do you bring to the table? Well, I know how to garden, and my body is nice, and I can help him with his business. But lady, if he needed help with his business, I promise you he got somebody on payroll. If he got that type of money, he got somebody doing that already. So you gotta assert yourself where you are strong at. And it doesn't mean, because you gotta know where you are. Like, I think I'm a dime all day long. I don't care what makeup or not. That's just who I think I am. I'm confident like that. But I also believe that there's other people that look way better than me and got more than me. But I think I'm straight. I think I'm the one. And everybody should think that way, but you also got to know that everybody ain't going to think that way. Everybody's not going to think I'm the dime. Everybody's not going to think I'm the one. And I have to be okay with that and still know and be rock solid in who I am, so that what I bring to the table, then it's solid. It's not something that can be just blown away into the wind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't want to, we got a lot of comments here. Maybe
we got a lot of them. Oh my God. Y'all been so engaging today. We love this.
I got a couple of them over here. We got, Garthian says, hey, family. James Gifford says, peace, family. He also wants to say to you, that's his loss, sis. Garthian says, true. Brother James says, true. Garthian says, great topic. Thank y'all for joining us, family. Go ahead, sis.
Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. Ayana says, where are the Black 50 plus healthy with fully functional parts?
Sure, not in Maryland. I gotta believe it.
She is hilarious. That's okay. So let's talk about that, because that's a power, right? That's a power. When you have a woman who takes care of her body, because most times if women are working out, the sex drives are high, right? She want to get it in 2-3 times a week. And if the brother is not functioning enough, then he just is like, what? Where's the power in that? Just because you look good, if you're not being able to rock it in the bedroom, you're still going to have some issues. So it's a lot of things that have to go into place, and people have to be very aware and wise in what they're willing to deal with, which basically is counting the cost of what it is that you're looking for. Because if a 20-year-old, you got these blue pills running around, but they can always also cause some issues later on, because you can't be taking the blue pill 4 times a week. I
don't mess with the blue pill at all. I just drink my herbs. I just drink my herbs.
Your herbs. Get the rolio.
You got to keep the blood.
You got to be taking care. But again, it goes back to taking care of your body. You got to be able to take care of your body. And a lot of that is, you only say he'll buy that for $1. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot. Katina says, just because a person doesn't see your value, it doesn't make you less valuable. Absolutely. You got to know your worth, because everybody's not going to know it.
But again, now we're talking about value to the game, not just self-worth, because we can have all the self-worth in the world. But what we're trying to find is where we fit into this game called life, and trying to find complementarity with our masculine and feminine counterparts, right? And so knowing and applying our value there is what we're dealing with here, not just, I'm somebody's child. I know my mama loved me as much as any mama can love a son, right? So in her eyes, I'm immeasurably valuable.
Right.
To my wife, though, if I don't have, certain, things that I bring to the table, my value can diminish accordingly. My mama don't care nothing about how good I am with my wife in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna be mama's baby, even if I got a hump in my back, I can't see no more, I can't work no more, can't fight no more, right? I'm still mama's baby, but dad's looking at me like, nah, bruh.
Right. Yeah. So it's just, you have to really know what you bring. And I like the fact that you brought up the game, right?
Yeah.
I made a comment about a week ago about the game and making sure that you know how to play the game. And typically, especially now, you have women like, I don't feel like I'm playing no games. I don't want to be playing no games. You got to play the game.
Yeah.
It's just it's for par. It's food for par.
It's not even just playing the game, it's living the game.
You have to live it, you have to know it, you have to be a part of it, and it's going to be a part of your life. Yeah, you can sit back and be like, I ain't doing this, I'll just be singing by myself. Then you be singing by yourself.
Look,
there's gonna be some rules that you gotta adhere to when it comes to this game called relationships, especially in this day and time when there's 7 to 10.
And when I say the game, I'm talking in terms of life, right? Like, so a lot of people would think, oh, you've been married 30 years, y'all done with the game part of it, right? But we're not, man. Look, based on who my wife is and what she brings to the table, I already know what that looks like if I'm going to offer a sense of complementarity to her life, right? So my wife works her ass off, right? She gets up in the morning and it's 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, come on, babe, that's enough. Let's bring it on in. She's still painting and, doing all kinds of stuff. She
working her butt off.
Yeah, she does. So, but
real woman, 100%.
Part of the game, though, is I know what she needs, right? Sometimes she needs me to bring her flowers, right? To make her feel good about, these are little things that it takes to make her feel good about what it is that she's bringing to my life.
Right.
So she's handling all kinds of bills on this end. She's looking at taxes. She's making sure our credit is straight. But the part of the game that I have to apply to that is I have to make her feel good about doing those things, because otherwise, if she loses enthusiasm for what it is that she brings to my life, then everything gets compromised.
Right.
And vice versa. If I lose enthusiasm, or pardon me, if I lose enthusiasm toward her, then again, it gets compromised in an equal but opposite direction. So that's what I mean when I say game. There is a synergy that must be maintained. Like, that's why they say the same thing it took to get your baby hooked. It's the same thing you got to do to keep them. That plus some.
Right. And so I can clear that, make sure that people understand what I mean by game. I'm not talking about games as in he's playing games or he's being untruth or not honest and things. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there are rules to relationships and relating. There's keys to relating. And if you don't know what those keys to relating are, you're going to lose. It's just simple. You're going to then or be by yourself. And then the older you get, the less choices that you have. This is what we talked about. So when we talk about the power of chasing and being chased, you got to be in position to be chased. Mm-hmm. Or you got to be in position to be pursued. And if you're not in that position, you're going to lose out. This is some of the things I have found perfect thing that I have found about women chasing men, right? And I thought this was great. He used the example of you wanting to call for a car. You just call for a black car, a black Uber, and you trying to get to this nice place. You done gave the driver the directions, told him how to get there, and then midway through, you tell him to pull over, jump in the driver's seat, and now you want to take off. That's what the chasing is. If you've met a guy that now you've told him the directions and how to win you. And now you want to, because he ain't moving fast enough, he not doing what you want, he not making the turns that you want him to make when you want him to make it. He not going in the direction that you want him to go, because you know the shortcut to yourself, right? But he going a long way, and you like, I need to get there quick. I need babies. My time clock is running. We got to do this. We got to do this. And you jump in the driver's seat, and the driver gets out the car. Now you're sitting there looking like, why he leave? Because it wasn't your position to be driving the car in the first place. So you don't get the chance to do that. You don't get to jump in the driver's seat whenever you feel like it. Mm-hmm. Now you give the directions, you teach him how, if you will, for lack of better terms, how to win you. And it's not by giving him, well, I want you to do this, and that. You show him in different ways. You know, I like a guy that's really considerate. Well, what does considerate mean? That could be subjective to so many people. So he has to now find out how to be considerate to you. You know what? Instead of you saying, you know what, I like a person that opens my doors or buys me flowers. I like a person that's kind. Well, what does that kind mean to you? If you're giving him keys, but not direct keys to the house, you won't have to worry about him coming in stealing stuff when you ain't there.
Mm. Yeah. You know, times have changed so much, but on a primal level, we haven't changed.
Yeah.
So we have all these advancements in technology and advancements in humanity, if you want to call them advancements. And so, you know, again, 15,000 BC, a woman wasn't as concerned about kindness and compatibility and complementarity and all of these other terms that we're throwing around. Like, we weren't concerned about that nearly as much back then. Mm-hmm. Can you hunt? Can you fish? Can you fight? Right? That's what a woman wanted to know. Oh, and by the way, can you build me a protective shed? Right? If you can't do that, you ain't no man. 15,000 years. It don't matter how cute you are. You can be 6'3" with chisel abs, but if you can't do them things, she ain't checking for you. Now, she might low-key fantasize about you, but you know, she can't afford to have no babies by you because she gonna have weak offspring.
Right.
And she was smarter than that back then. She was smarter than to choose a man back then who was just cute and she liked he wore nice jeans, and you know, she knew better than that back then. And the same thing, there's this movie my wife it's called 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. And if any of you I think I might have referenced this on the show before, but there's this scene where he goes down into town, and just the same way you would go down into town looking to buy a sack of rice or whatever, he goes down in town looking to find him a wife. And it's a song related to this scene, and he's naming all these different things that he wants, and she's got to be beautiful, she's got to work hard, and all these other things. And he finds this wife, and she, you know, of course he tricked her kind of, because she had to do all these things for 7 brothers. But the point is, she came with a certain level of attributes that she could bring to his life. Whereas otherwise, if she wasn't hardworking, for instance, she could have been as pretty as she wanted to be. But if she wasn't hardworking, she could have never fit what he needed from her. Right. You got a few more comments. Michael Johnson says he don't agree.
What you don't agree with, Michael?
You don't agree with, bro? Better not be with me. Better not be disagreeing with me.
You say what? What you say?
You better not be disagreeing with me.
I think you will, because you was talking. I absolutely don't give him the handbook, and so he can hook, line, and sink you. Absolutely. Yes. Yarley talked about the age of Aquarius is changing us all, flipping social norms on its head. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's exactly what's happening. And in going back to what you said about him back in the day, when we weren't looking for the kindness and things of that sort, we weren't looking, we didn't do that because we weren't going from man to man to man, relationship to relationship. We were very, very strategic in who we allowed in our space at that time, and we waited for that one instead of us jumping in because we're lonely, jumping in because we feel like this is the one, and haven't really vetted him and things of that sort. So then you get into the I want somebody that's kind. I want somebody that's going to be nice to me and compassionate to me because of all the pain that you've been through in your past. So you're going through and filtering all that pain, going through the files. Okay, he can't be like him. Oh, he can't be like him. He definitely can't be like him. And those are the things that you're doing versus going for the man that's supposed to be able to protect and honor you, and do those things that the vows say, because it says to honor and protect. Those are the things we should be looking for. But because of the pains and the things we've gone through and all the junk that we've gathered in our baggage, that's why we go into, well, he got to be kind and he got to be this and he got to be that.
Let's keep it 100. I mean, who doesn't want somebody who's kind and easy to get along with? It. It's not that there's anything wrong with a woman wanting a guy who's kind and compatible. I mean, like, these are things that should have always, our relationships should have always been based on, some sort of idea of what it means to be able to get along and enjoy each other's company. Right. So I'm not saying it to say that there's anything wrong with the woman wanting kindness. I'm just saying, I was just kind of juxtaposing that to today, where a woman can be a lot more selective. And even if a woman wanted to be completely alone without a guy, there's still that's a luxury that women have nowadays. Whereas, again, 15,000 BC, a woman couldn't afford to be alone out here, because what's she going to do when the saber-tooth tiger comes? Right? So men were very much more needed and even appreciated back then. And I'll even go so far as to say, in healthier cultures, women were much more appreciated too.
Yeah, we need to be a little bit softer. Women, we have to be a little bit softer. We have to, and I know it's a difference between being a boss chick when you out there handling your business, but boss chick should not cross the threshold of your door when your man is living there. And when you learn how to do that, learn how to shake those clothes, it's almost like you need to derobe as you're crossing the threshold of yourself of boss chick, because you can't walk into your house with a man that's going to be able to handle the boss chick thinking that you can be boss chick, because he will run and find somebody that's much more feminine, that will be able to treat him like a man and not some child.
Yeah. And truthfully, I would rather not have to handle my woman.
Well, that could be subjective, because you got to be a little handled a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, like, some,
I'm joking, y'all. I'm
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But I mean, like, there are a lot of women who say, a man, I don't know. There are some women who really feel strongly about having a man who can, quote unquote, handle them. And I think that oftentimes that's a disguise for what she's lacking in the ability to get along with a man. And so, she'll hide behind this idea that I haven't found a man who can handle all this yet. How y'all do it? I can't handle all this yet. I can't do it. But you know what I'm saying? And let me say this too, because I know oftentimes I say things that are directed at women, but at the same time, there is no problem that women have that our men don't have. It's just an equal and opposite direction. So people want to say, that, first of all, our families, so many of our families don't have men present, right? And so she got daddy issues, right? But if she got daddy issues, then he got daddy issues, because who the hell is there to show him how to be a man? His mama. So now you relating to women based on how your mama groomed you to relate to women, as opposed to getting that sharpening that a man's presence provides. So women have problems, our men have problems, and it's a mess, you know what I mean? But picking on each other, blaming each other, it's the women's fault or it's the men's fault. It's nonsense, because we all have problems as a result of what's been happening in this culture. And the only way to find the solution on that is to focus on the solution rather than focusing on who we can blame for the problem.
Right. And we have to be able to take account for our own actions. Learn who you are so that you can know what you need to adjust and make sure that you are doing that and do the work, because it's real work. And that's why a lot of people are not doing the work. They're not willing to put that time in to get rid of that baggage and do what's necessary to get on track so that they can attract the right person. Because you're going to attract that which you are. You're not going to attract what you want. So you can say all day, I want a man that's going to do this, 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 and that. But if you mean, and you every time a dude look at you, you doing that, you're going to attract a mean dude. If you're just not kind yourself to other people, you're going to attract the guy that's not kind. We attract who we are, not what we want. Because if that were the case, we'd all be wealthy, because I'm sure that we all want to be rich, or at least be comfortable enough to not worry about bills.
Yeah, I like to have a few extra coins in my pocket.
Right, so we have to be accountable to that. Yarley says personal responsibility and accountability for your actions. Absolutely. And a lot of people are willing to do that because it takes some some painstaking actions to figure out where your nuances are and get rid of them. I always say that I think, and this is just in my opinion, that relationships are not designed only to give you some pleasure. They're designed to find out what's in you to get out of you. So then when you find that person that always getting on your nerve, it's some things that you just need to work out.
Yeah. And again, I keep going back to 15,000 BC, right? I mean, we had a vastly different reason for being in relationships back then. We needed each other for different things back then. Now, a relationship really, I mean, we're talking about, even though we still have these primal needs, we're just looking to heighten the human experience at this point, right? I'm looking at how much better can you make my life? I'm good by myself, but I'm a force when we together, right?
Right.
Wasn't that a song?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm good by myself, but boy, when we together, I can do some magical things. So I'm looking at, and people these days in general are looking at how what value you bring to my life. What is it that you bring to my life that makes my life that much better, right? So it's not. Again, we've gotten, again, these primal needs are still there, and that itch has to be scratched. Yeah. But at the same time, we have to learn it. And so I don't know, just to bring it full circle, that's kind of what me and Coach Michelle are here for, because I know that you're not going to like every idea that I spit out or every idea that she spits out, but as far as these are peripheral discussions that we're having. But when it comes to how to make a relationship work, because everybody's relationship is different. So I don't call myself a relationship expert as much as I say I am really good at mastering the relating dynamics between different relationship types.
Yes.
Right. And so these type of people may have a more outgoing relationship. These people over here may have a more introverted or even a more rugged style relationship. Whatever it is, there are different types. And what Coach Michelle and myself bring to the table is helping you to master the dynamic that exists between the two of you.
Yeah, because that's what we're about. Mastery, self-mastery, and being able to master the healthy keys in relating, because that's something we believe. We keep talking about that the things that we as a community has not been taught. We have not been taught the arts, 3 different arts: art of relating, art of war, art of wealth. And that's part of our major teaching. If you look at everything that we do, it's wrapped around those 3 things that we're attempting to teach in the sessions that we're having, the sessions that we have privately with our clients. If you all wanted to meet with us and we meet, together with you and your partner, whatever, it's the same thing we're going to do. We know how to master the keys to healthy relating. Doesn't mean that we know everything. We know enough, right, to be able to help people get from where they are to where they want to go. And that's part of this whole thing. So yeah. So this is good. We had a lot of comments. We couldn't get back to all y'all comments. Y'all were really engaging us today. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. We hope that you all shared what we are doing, because we really want to make sure that this is reaching as many people as possible, right? Not that we are trying to get famous. We just want to help a lot of people. And in order for us to help a lot of people, the more people that we connect, even through you all, the more people that we can ultimately help. That's really what we're all about.
Yep. I'm much more concerned with being impactful than famous.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is good. You got any more comments over there?
No, I think we're about topped out over here. We got a few people just silently listening, or maybe they just got us playing in the background while they eating dinner or something. I don't know.
They're absorbing. They're absorbing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's plenty good game going around, so we good.
Yeah, that's fine. So it's good stuff. So we really appreciate. You want to close us out?
Yeah. So again, we want to thank you guys for joining us. You could have been anywhere else in the world today, but you are here with us, and we are incredibly appreciative of that. So again, if you are experiencing any relationship challenges, first of all, you should not be experiencing relationship challenges when you have access to people like Coach Michelle Monet and myself. We work together. We work individually. Whatever it is that your relationship needs, that's what we are most concerned with, and making sure that you get the outcome that it is that you want. And so I always like to say, people think that couples who are winning are doing extraordinary things, but that's not it. The couples who are winning aren't doing extraordinary things. They're doing ordinary things with a greater level of commitment than everybody else. So with that, I'd like to say thank you all for joining us again. We appreciate y'all, and we love you. Peace.
Talk to y'all later. Bye.